What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. We are going to continue our coverage over the Night Terror event. This is DC's current event, and it is all about the idea of exploring the hero's nightmares. Let me explain. So, there is a new guy known as Insomnia who is looking for something called the Nightmare Stone. Now, for him to get the Nightmare Stone, he has to literally go to every single hero or villain who has a tie-in series, Nightmares, as a way to figure out who is holding on to the Nightmare Stone. Because a character known as Dr. Destiny, who has the ability to bring someone's dreams into reality, thanks to him using the Dreamstone, he put the Nightmare Stone in someone's dream because he was so scared of it. Insomnia is looking for it. Now, Insomnia did put everyone to sleep so he can look into their nightmares to hopefully find the Nightmare Stone. Now, only two characters who we have left on the board who can stop Insomnia are Deadman and Zatanna. Deadman because he is literally dead, and Zatanna because she used a spell at the last minute to protect herself. And so getting into the opening pages of Night Terror #1, we actually do pick up with the origin of Deadman. Now this makes sense. And the reason why, because when it comes to Deadman, he is going to be the main star of the book. But on top of that, when it comes to his origin, not a lot of DC fans know his origin story. And what I mean by that is, if you are a hardcore DC fan, of course you know his origin. But when it comes to the fans out there who just tip their toes here and there into DC Comics, they may not know the actual origin of Deadman. Now, with that being said, when it comes to the origin of Deadman, he was a trapeze performer, of course, working for a particular circus. Now, in the middle of his act, he was shot and killed, and of course, fell to his death. Now, with that happening, he had to figure out who killed him. And so he was given the ability to be a ghost as a way to kind of figure out who killed him in the middle of his act. Now, once he was able to actually solve his own case, he thought he had the ability to actually go to the afterlife. Unfortunately, he got stuck here on Earth as Deadman, the ghost. And so now he must watch everybody else live their daily lives, but of course, he is unable to actually interact with those people like he wants to. He may do it here and there, but not every single time. And so for him, it's kind of like a cruel punishment. He's stuck here on Earth and he can't even move on to the next life. He can't really interact with people like he really wants to. He's just stuck here. But at the same time, though, he realized that he is somewhat a hero. And so even though he's going through this cruel punishment or this cruel thing called death, he's saying to himself, I'm okay because I can still be a hero. And so finally being able to pick up where we actually left off at in the last Night Terror book, we do see Deadman right now inside the body of Batman. But right now he's being held against the wall by Insomnia, the main bad guy of this DC event. Now, with that being said, when it comes to Insomnia, he's really trying to recruit Deadman to his side. And the reason why, because to Insomnia, him and Deadman are just alike. Now, when he says that, he really means more of they just go around spying on people's daily lives. Now, for Deadman, he honestly has no choice. He's a ghost stuck on Earth. And so when he watches other people live their daily lives, he's not doing it for the fun of it. He's doing it because that's all he can do. Either way, when it comes to Insomnia, he kind of gives us a quick reminder of what this entire event is all about, which honestly, I told you guys at the very beginning of this video. He's looking for the Nightmare Stone. And when it came to Dr. Destiny, John D., he put the Nightmare Stone in someone's nightmares, one of the heroes or villains. And so that is why the world is completely asleep right now, because it is Insomnia trying to figure out where the Nightmare Stone actually is at. Now, with all that being said, Deadman is trying to learn more about Insomnia. Now, at first, Insomnia does give us a tad clue. And when he does says he comes from the dream realm. And of course, remember, when it comes to the dream realm, it's where everyone's mind goes to when they're about to go to sleep and have a dream. Now, Here's the thing. He also tells us that he is the god of the nightmare realm, which means that it's another realm inside the dream realm. But here's the thing. He does say he has the ability to bring his nightmares to life, but also other people's nightmares to life as well. Now, this is where Deadman wants to learn more about the origin of Insomnia. And so he does leave the body of Batman to go possess the body of Insomnia to hopefully learn more about his character. Now, when Deadman goes into the body of Insomnia to hopefully learn more about Insomnia, we get a few pages that gives us a few hints about the origin of the Nightmare Stone, but also the origin of Insomnia. What we actually learn here is that when it came to the birth of the Dreamstone, the stone that Dr. Destiny used to bring dreams to life, it was technically brought here because of a bad ritual. And with a ritual, someone had to die. And the person who died was someone who was working on a case that followed the birth of the Dreamstone and maybe the Nightmare Stone as well. This is going to bring back a certain character at the end of this book. But getting back to the origins of Insomnia, we learned that Dr. Destiny discovered the Nightmare Stone, but he put the stone in someone's dreams. So before this event, Insomnia began to look into everyone's dreams and nightmares to find it. But the question is, how was he able to do that? Now, when Deadman is inside the body of Insomnia, he realizes that his powers came from the Lazarus Rain. Thanks to an earlier event, the world had constant rainpour of the Lazarus Pit, and it changed people. So it seems that Insomnia is not from the dream realm. He is just a guy who got his powers thanks to the Lazarus Rain, which then gave him the ability to look into people's dreams and nightmares. Also, Deadman realized that Insomnia looks at the heroes as monsters, but on top of that, he is trying to forget happy moments of his life, something people don't really do. And so then you have Insomnia being able to actually get Deadman out of his own body. Now, when Deadman does get out of the body of Insomnia, you then have Deadman tell Insomnia, "You're not a god. You're just a regular guy who got his powers thanks to the Lazarus Rain. And so with that rain, yes, you may got powers, but you're not a god. And that is why you want the Nightmare Stone, so that you'll be able to actually become a god." And so with that being said, you have Deadman go back into the body of Batman. Because remember, the entire world is asleep right now. And so with the world being asleep, that means Batman as well. And so Deadman has the ability to take over someone's body. He does take over Batman's body just in case Insomnia tries to do something to the body of Batman. And now, you do have Deadman use the body of Batman as a way to escape Arkham Tower. And Arkham Tower is just a replacement for Arkham Asylum. Either way, once you have Deadman using the body of Batman to escape Arkham Tower and get into the Batmobile to drive away, this is Deadman telling Gus he did figure some things out. He has some clues while being inside the body of Insomnia. And with those clues, he may be able to actually find a way to stop Insomnia. Now, with that being said, you also have Deadman tell us that there are some other heroes out there who are still trying to protect the Earth, the ones who were not affected by Insomnia powers. And really, he only tells us two characters, Red Tornado and Zatanna, which honestly, those two characters could be very helpful when it comes to stopping Insomnia down the road. And so then we see Deadman actually go over to a graveyard. Now, when he does go to a particular grave. And of course, he does bring a bunch of Lazarus Rain. Because remember, Lazarus Rain is technically the origin of Insomnia. It what made Insomnia who he is today. And so right now, it's Deadman hoping to use the Lazarus Rain as a way to bring back a particular person. The person he saw when he was in the mind of Insomnia, which led to the birth of the Dreamstone and the Nightmare Stone. Because like I said earlier, there was a ritual that brought the two stones to life apparently, but someone had to die. And the person who died is seen to be someone who was working a case. And so that means it's Deadman right now bringing that person who was working on that case. And of course, the person who was working on that case is the original Sandman, Wesley Dodds. He is back, and now he's going to help Deadman figure out what is the actual origin of Insomnia, the Nightmare Stone, and also the Dreamstone as well, but to also hopefully find a way to stop Insomnia. Now, it looks like this whole idea of Deadman and also Sandman working together is not going to continue in the next book. It's going to continue in the Brave and the Bold series, which is a series where Batman does team up with different characters over DC Comics. And so it seems like the next chapter of Night Terror is actually going to take place in that book right there, where we can actually see Sandman and Deadman work together. I could be wrong, but to me, it seems like that's what they're going to do here with the next chapter. But with that being said, though, guys, this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. And guys, we are going to cover some of the tie-ins as well, like one of the two-part tie-ins that cover each person's nightmares. So like Batman's, Joker, Ravager, and the list goes on. And matter of fact, I already recorded some videos covering the nightmares of different characters like Black Adam and Ravager. But with that being said, this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. Later, guys.